Traveling broadens horizons and fosters cultural connections, but for Black travelers, the journey can involve unique challenges, ranging from microaggressions to systemic biases or even hostility. This guide isn't meant to deter you from exploring the world, but to equip you with the knowledge and preparation to navigate these challenges with confidence. Armed with insight, you can turn these experiences into opportunities for growth and empowerment. If you're ready to learn about these destinations and enhance your travel experience, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. Let's dive in. 1. Saudi Arabia. A country of immense wealth driven by its vast petroleum reserves, holds a significant place in both the global economy and the Islamic world as the birthplace of Islam. Every year, millions of Muslims travel to perform the Hajj pilgrimage in Mecca, one of Islam's 5 pillars. While Saudi Arabia offers a captivating blend of modernity and tradition, Black travelers may face challenges stemming from deeply rooted racial biases within the society. The country's large migrant labor force, especially from African nations, often works in difficult conditions with limited rights and legal protection. These harsh realities contribute to broader societal biases that also affect the perception of Black tourists. For many, this bias manifests in subtle ways, such as dismissive stares, microaggressions, or being treated with disdain, but can sometimes escalate into more direct actions, including exclusion from venues or denial of service. Despite Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 initiative, which aims to modernize and diversify its economy, the country's deep-seated issues surrounding race and ethnicity remain largely unaddressed. Although some progress has been made, racial prejudices still persist, affecting both long-term residents and short-term visitors. As a result, Black travelers may encounter a society that has limited cultural awareness of Black identity, making their experience more challenging. 2. Japan. Known for its harmonious blend of ancient traditions and technological advancement, attracts millions of visitors annually with its mesmerizing landscapes, distinctive cuisine, and unique cultural practices. However, Black travelers in Japan may experience a sense of isolation due to the country's homogeneity. With over 98% of the population being ethnically Japanese, the presence of Black individuals is relatively rare, leading to unfamiliarity and sometimes discomfort in social interactions. Many Black visitors report feeling like a spectacle, with curious stares and attention that can feel uncomfortable or even invasive. While much of this is driven by curiosity rather than malice, the pervasive lack of exposure to diversity means that encounters with foreigners, especially people of African descent, can sometimes feel alienating. Black travelers may also find themselves on the receiving end of casual but problematic comments about their appearance or heritage. In Japan, the portrayal of Black individuals in media has often been shaped by harmful stereotypes. Although there has been some shift in recent years, outdated portrayals of Black people, such as the use of blackface in entertainment, continue to perpetuate harmful and misinformed views. In smaller towns, where diversity is even less present, these biases may feel more pronounced. 3. India. With its vast and varied landscapes, rich history, and colorful festivals, is a captivating destination for travelers. However, for Black visitors, the country's deeply ingrained colorism can present significant challenges. Colorism in India has historical roots, stemming from colonialism and the entrenched caste system, which perpetuated the belief that lighter skin was superior. Black travelers, particularly those from African nations, often experience curiosity and sometimes unwanted attention, especially in rural areas where their presence may be more conspicuous. This curiosity can take the form of stares, invasive questions about skin color or heritage, and sometimes unsolicited physical contact. In some cases, this curiosity can escalate into more overt prejudice or even exclusion, making some Black visitors feel alienated or unwelcome. Even in urban centers like Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore, which are more accustomed to diverse populations, there are still traces of colorism that influence how black individuals are treated. The media's portrayal of blackness is often shaped by a narrow set of stereotypes that contribute to the perpetuation of these biases. Additionally, the growing influence of the West has led to an increasing demand for skin whitening products, which further reinforces the preference for fair skin. 4. South Korea. South Korea has rapidly transformed into one of the world's most advanced and dynamic nations, known for its cultural exports, such as K-pop, its technological innovations, and vibrant urban centers like Seoul and Busan. However, despite its global prominence, South Korea's relatively homogeneous society presents challenges for black travelers. While South Korea is becoming more globalized, black travelers may still face prejudice and misunderstandings, particularly in smaller towns or more rural areas. The lack of diversity in South Korean media and society contributes to misconceptions about black individuals, who are often seen as exotic or unfamiliar. This lack of familiarity can result in microaggressions, such as being ignored in stores, receiving poor service, or encountering overt stereotypes. The portrayal of black people in South Korean media has historically leaned toward caricature, often reinforcing negative or outdated stereotypes. This, combined with the country's relatively limited exposure to diverse racial and ethnic backgrounds, can create barriers for black visitors who seek to fully integrate into the culture. 5. Israel. Israel is a country that holds deep religious and historical significance, offering travelers an unparalleled mix of ancient traditions and modern developments. From the holy city of Jerusalem to the cosmopolitan vibrancy of Tel Aviv, Israel is a land of contrasts. However, black travelers may face challenges in navigating the country's complex social and political landscape, particularly with respect to issues related to race. Israel is home to a significant population of African migrants, including asylum seekers from Sudan and Eritrea, many of whom have faced systemic discrimination and marginalization. These tensions sometimes spill over into interactions with black tourists, who may experience suspicion or hostility in certain areas. The media portrayal of black individuals, as well as the political situation regarding African migrants, has led to a complicated racial climate in Israel. 6. Ukraine. Known for its stunning landscapes, rich culture, and history, offers many travel opportunities. However, for black travelers, it can be a difficult destination due to widespread racial tensions. Racism in Ukraine is well documented, with black individuals often facing verbal harassment, discriminatory treatment, and even physical threats. Smaller towns and rural areas are particularly challenging, as they have limited exposure to diversity and may harbor deeply ingrained racial prejudices. Even in larger cities like Kyiv, black travelers may experience overt racism, although there is a growing recognition of the need for change. The social climate can be hostile, and the lack of legal protections for racial minorities exacerbates the difficulties black visitors face. For those considering traveling to Ukraine, it is essential to be cautious, particularly in areas with fewer international influences. Engaging with local tour guides or well-known expat groups can provide support, but travelers should always prioritize safety in a country where racial tolerance is still evolving. 7. Greece. Greece's appeal lies in its ancient ruins, idyllic islands, and Mediterranean culture. However, racial tensions have been on the rise in recent years, making it more difficult for black travelers to fully enjoy all that Greece has to offer. Although major cities like Athens and popular tourist destinations like Santorini and Mykonos are generally welcoming, smaller towns may present challenges. Reports of racism in Greece have become more common in recent years, particularly in less tourist-heavy areas. These instances often manifest as microaggressions, such as being ignored in restaurants or shops, or experiencing a lack of warmth from locals. While these issues are not universal, they are significant enough to make black travelers feel unwelcome, particularly when venturing outside the well-trodden tourist paths. In general, Greece is a country that is still coming to terms with its growing diversity. Although the country has a rich history of cultural exchange, the rise of nationalist and anti-immigrant sentiment has created tensions that affect both residents and visitors of African descent. It is advisable to stick to more cosmopolitan areas where there is a higher level of inclusivity and to avoid isolated regions where racial issues are more pronounced. 8. Italy. Renowned for its art, architecture, and cuisine, is a top travel destination. However, black travelers may encounter challenges in rural or less diverse regions, where overt racism or subtle prejudices can be more apparent. Major cities like Rome, Milan, and Florence, with their international communities and influx of tourists, are generally more welcoming, but issues of racism persist. Racial discrimination in Italy manifests in various forms, ranging from microaggressions to outright hostility. In smaller towns and rural areas, black travelers may experience exclusion or alienation, as these areas are less accustomed to diverse populations. The media's portrayal of blackness in Italy is also often shaped by outdated stereotypes, further contributing to racial tensions. Despite these challenges, Italy remains a culturally rich destination where black travelers can find spaces of acceptance, particularly in metropolitan areas with diverse populations. Engaging with local communities and learning about Italy's complex history with race can help ease these tensions. 9. China. With its rich cultural heritage and rapid modernization, presents a fascinating travel experience. However, black travelers may face challenges in navigating a society that is still grappling with issues of racial prejudice. Despite the country's international influence, outdated stereotypes persist, and black travelers often report encountering stares, intrusive questions, or even discriminatory behavior, especially outside major urban areas. While large cities like Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou are more accustomed to international visitors, rural areas can present a stark contrast, with fewer opportunities for cross-cultural exchange and a lack of understanding about racial diversity. This disconnect often leads to misunderstanding or discomfort for black tourists. Despite these challenges, China's continued rise as a global power means that attitudes are gradually shifting. Increased international exposure, particularly through media and tourism, is slowly helping to challenge outdated views and promote greater cultural awareness. 10. Russia. With its rich cultural and historical landmarks, offers a fascinating travel experience. However, it remains one of the most difficult destinations for black travelers, due to pervasive racism and discrimination. Reports of racial harassment, violence, and outright hostility are common, particularly in less populated regions. While Moscow and St. Petersburg are more cosmopolitan and diverse, racial prejudice is still widely present. For black travelers, Russia represents a challenging and often unwelcoming destination, where safety and security should be prioritized above all else. In addition to avoiding less populated areas, it is crucial to research thoroughly and ensure that you are well prepared to navigate Russia's racial landscape. It is advisable to travel in groups or with companions, particularly in regions where racial tolerance is low. Traveling as a black individual can present its challenges, but it also offers the potential for personal growth, cross-cultural understanding, and the opportunity to challenge stereotypes. By equipping yourself with knowledge, preparing for potential difficulties, and embracing an open-minded approach, you can make the most of your journey, no matter where it leads. If you found this guide insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more travel content. Until next time, happy exploring!